called Redefining Archivist, an excerpt from my text I told you about called Sometimes Grief Goes for a Walk, and another piece titled I Love You More Than Poem Mama. I was a strange little child. When my Gemini twin Stephanie wasn't ripping barrettes for my hair, I could be found organizing all my belongings, storing them safely together in bags. From a young age, it was clear that some things were worth saving, some things should be kept away from little brother and sister greasy fingerprints, but always close enough to be accessible, to be used again. That's why those bags went everywhere I went. Like Denver Elementary School report cards that found their way inside of Brooklyn's brownstone. Sometimes you look back on your old self and you realize you've evolved, but ain't nothing changed. Wisdom is ancient. It just keeps cycling and metamorphosing. Cycling and metamorphosing. The same truth always finds you when you need it. When I finally located the endless stacks and cold storage bathrooms of a library, I found a home for that young bag lady and a language for her actions. Archivists. Archivists are not always noticed. Many people give us blank stares when we introduce ourselves. Many people aren't aware of our existence until they go looking for an entryway into the past. When materials have exhausted their primary value, we initiate reuse. But we are not custodians of history. We cannot just tidy up. Our duty is also to help shape collective memory. Archives are needed because the FBI was destroying whatever records they wanted. And Henry Clay Frick was being praised while the bones of Homestead were hidden behind nameless graves. Archives are needed so we know about free, intentional Black communities like Weeksville, so narratives can stop contracting smallpox and the Ministry of Truth can be held accountable, so people can be empowered to go back to the original source. Archives are needed so we have some ammunition against fleeting memory. Have you ever needed a document to fill the void of buried flesh? I have. Frail, broken bodies leaned over the casket once, and they shivered. The man in the casket was no longer the man in the casket. The corpse, the absence, the void. The man in the casket was just this lifeless body waiting for fire, and vomiting fluid dripped from his deflated mouth. The skin on his fingers were rigid and stiff. The kiss to his forehead was cold. When casket closed, she tried to hold on to forever. She filled empty space with objects, jack bottles, vehicles, moccasins, videotapes, polo shirt, pictures, album collection, memories. She tried holding on to the seconds of minutes, holding on to the hours of weeks, holding on to the days of last year's month. She had the audacity to try to hold on to time. But days decay, change molded time, and even refrigerators can't preserve memory. I've watched my family gather around the television set in this ritual, rewatching the memorial video I made for my grandmother. My 3-year-old niece goes up to the TV and presses play again and again because she wants to see Gigi. And I'm reminded in that moment of the last time I saw my grandmother alive. She gave me a book. I wrote it down. You're the archivist. And I realized this is how I heal from your absence, honor your presence. I archive your narrative, outline ways to expand your story into chapters, into hundreds of pages, into infinity. To the growing edges of a waxing moon, you rest in the power of darkness now, mama. The place behind closed eyelids, my friend said we danced together in her dream and she never met you. You rest in the power of darkness now, mama. The other day, I unscrewed your urn so we could be near, so I could touch you again. Remnants of your bones adorn the inside of a pendant I often wear on a bracelet so we can hold hands. Our love exists in a lot of silence now. And between the space of living and ancestor replaces grandmother like synonyms. Mama, 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 I love you more than home, but I said I wasn't going to write another grief text. So I dance now. I dance and cry at the same time now because I love you that much. Archives can never be an excuse for lingering grief. And archivists are not trying to sell upholstered nostalgia. Our mission is deeper than consumerism. I aim to preserve the narratives of the forgotten, document the undocumented, give voice to the Jane Does. My librarian, fairy godmother, said I'm like an alchemist, gathering information, transforming it into art, and situating it in proper round. She said, my charge as an archivist was to take a stand against Orwellian machination and preserve memory, my own and that of others. She said, I am formidable. I am an archivist.
I'm an individual connected to all that the universe is and has to offer. Universal guidance is how we get to this point, and I hope for the best for everyone, and things will continue to guide us all in this infinite odyssey we call life. Asian McMahon, team representative, quality.
Right now. Wait, what was that? Yes, I'm what you gotta say, Forde? That was fucking fantastic!